Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for joining us this glorious Thursday. As always, the multiplayer podcast. Let me mute myself in the back. Bam. Shout out to everybody in the comment section. We're gonna talk about Stephanie, we're gonna talk about that Sea of Thieves 540p 15 frames per second. We're gonna talk about that. We're gonna talk about a little bit of Michael Pachter. You know, he released a very, very emotional video, so I'm hearing. We're gonna talk about the article from Dual Shockers about the Xbox One X, you know, basically being more powerful. And it's a good thing, and Sony fans are crying in the river in the comment section. But again, shout out to everybody in the chat, man. I don't know what the hell MVP is at. I sent you the link. He should be hopefully be here shortly. And I don't know what hell these went probably
taking his weekly L.
These went probably selling somebody a carburetor. I'm telling him it's a 4K TV, you know, D terrible. But if you be so calm, like I said, I didn't even hit the like button, my damn son. Hit the like button. We're gonna have a good show tonight, man. As always, multiple. Wait, what the hell happened? That was me. All right, I heard it. Who? All right, but anyway, am I still here? My poor. All right, I'm good. So what's going on? Like I said, everybody in the chat. I'm looking at the chat. Tip Diamond. Oh, you guys. Somebody named Heartache Mama. Stop. He said next gen. Stop trolling my son. Jesus Christ. Crazy.
Oh shit.
Crazy. You know, start already, man. The finals, yeah, man. We hopefully have another good show tonight. You know what I mean? I asked all the multi, you know what I mean? They said, you know what's crazy? This dog shit show that I put together, it came out to do one of my favorite things to do. Because then again, it's entertainment, you know what I mean? Some of the stuff that goes on behind the scenes and put in front of you guys is all. I'll be having a ball. But get anyway, hey, Porter Rock, you there, good brother?
What's up? What's going on?
Hey, P Rock. I seen you today. You put out your thesis. You was out there like a thespian on Broadway. You was out there by yourself.
Here's that preacher at 12 o'clock in the afternoon.
I'm preaching the truth here. You know what I'm saying?
You was out there like I said, a thespian that didn't get her Golden Globe Award. You was out there on Broadway. You know what I mean? Screaming about Othello and Romeo and Juliet. You know what I mean? The council war's over.
Hamlet, motherfucker.
Hamlet. There you go. Julius Caesar, Eptu, Brute, whatever.
You know what I'm saying?
So Michael Pachter, what's the name of the show? We can get right into this. Pachter put out a report. Let me go to my screen or a video.
What is it? The Pachter factor or some shit like that?
Yeah, basically saying, don't believe the Xbox One X pre-orders report, says Michael Pachter. Basically downplaying Microsoft's success thus far. We're claiming with the pre-order selling out in a day and then release some more another day. I would thought they'd probably release another batch, but they haven't. But he's basically saying, basically still slamming. You don't think this $500 console is going to do well in today's market? You know what I mean? But what are your thoughts about this? I seen your video today. I was highly entertained. Talk to me.
Of course, my video's always entertaining. Yo, bro, I think the main thing people wondering is when Microsoft said, fastest pre-order, sellout, whatever, people just want to know how much. How much do they have available? How much is in inventory? That's all people want to know. And of course, as usual, Microsoft staying quiet as normal. They in a corner with the dunce cap. So the phrase selling out pre-orders doesn't have much context unless you tell us a number behind that context.
Okay.
Doesn't mean much.
Okay, let me ask you a question. I'm gonna play the devil's advocate here. I'm gonna let my man K make the time. I'm sitting back there getting his tambourine ready to go to church on you. But listen, are you questioning Microsoft's integrity with the number? You think they doing the Jedi mind trick, the hand inspection in the eye? So if you said what they said it's the fastest selling Xbox pre-orders of all time. You know what I mean? Technically, you get the original Xbox. Then you get the 360. Actually, it was hard to get the 360 for a very long time back then. If you guys don't know, from 2005 to 2006, it was kind of hard to get the 360. Then, like I said, the Xbox One. But this again, they're saying that this thing, pre-order wise, sold out quicker than any of those other consoles. You know what I mean? one day, you know, an hour or two, or even a whole day. Now, again, I don't know how many put out there, but I'm just saying. But what are you saying, P-Rock? Are you questioning their integrity?
No,
Is this what you're saying?
That's not what we're saying. All right, listen to what they're saying. They're saying it's sold out faster, but the question is how much was sold out. That's what I'm asking. What's the number? Was it a million? 2 million?
Okay, here's the thing.
50,000? Like, what's the parameter? And here's another thing. Here's one more point. Also, them saying they sold out faster than any other Xbox devices, the equivalent of somebody saying they had a better record than the New York Knicks. That doesn't mean much to me.
Okay, all right, but again, that proves my point. But they did give you a scale to which it's already outsold the PS4 Pro. I'm sorry. Listen, give me for that. Hit me in the back. So that and again, if Sony said out of 1 out of 5.
All right. So wait, with that statement, that's like saying you had a better record than the New Jersey Nets. It doesn't say much to me.
I'm just saying, P-Rock.
Because I said time and time again, the Pro sells like shit. I'm probably the only dude that on my side of the camp that admits it. But I don't think the Pro's selling all that well. So saying you outsold the Pro is like saying you have a better record than the New Jersey.
No, I'm just saying we can at least say that is. I don't did you switch the order in a day or an hour? I don't know. I'm just saying that, that's all that I'm saying. Whether we're going to see the numbers, we all see them come December MPD, but it is what it is. Hey, K-Man, you there, good brother?
Yo, yeah, I'm here.
Now, listen. I want you to revert to the New Testament and what they say about to be a good Christian, to be a slave, to be a good Christian. Right. Okay, all this stuff in Leviticus. I want you to don't do your brother dirty. All right, I mean,
okay.
Turn the other cheek. Now, my man, he's misguided.
Yes, he is.
Like D said, he's ignorant to the facts.
He is ignorant.
But what are your thoughts about this?
Talk about it, K-Man. I'm gonna go softer tonight with my gospel. Can you pass the offering?
Can you pass the offering?
Now listen to what we're talking about tonight, ladies and gentlemen.
Talk about it.
Now, Porter Rock, our brother in arms. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, I'm gonna be soft tonight. I'm not gonna go hard choir, church, Pentecostal. I'm gonna go Southern Baptist tonight. And what I'm gonna do is I'm going to ask everybody on the panel, right? Okay, yes or no question. Has Michael Pachter been wrong? Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
He has been wrong on many occasions.
No, many occasions, right? Okay. So the one thing about it was one thing that I have to say that our brother in arms, all day. There's some members that call my brother all gay. I don't know why.
We had to talk about it.
But one of the things he was saying that there were only 8 to 12 per GameStop. Now I was doing some numbers because like our brother Porter Rock likes to do numbers, so I just wanted to do a couple of numbers right here. All right, there's 7,111 stores worldwide at GameStop. If you look at just at 8 to 12, then you get 85,404 pre-orders alone, just with GameStop. Then if you go to other places, you get another 22 to 25,000 just on that alone, and that's 2 stores. We're not counting Amazon. We're not counting the Walmarts. We're not counting the Best Buys. We're not the Otasco. I'm not the Otascos, but the Costcos. So what the question, or even Microsoft Store. So the thing of it is that I want to say is this. Nigga, you lost your goddamn mind. Cut this goddamn music off. What's wrong with you, Porter Rock? How the hell are you even going to interject something that Michael Pachter said? Remember, Michael Pachter was the one that was saying that the Xbox One brand was going to destroy the PlayStation. Do you not remember that man saying those words? Yes or no?
Nope. Yes, sir.
Yeah, no. He was saying that the Xbox One was going to be the future of gaming, and all they had to do was to get their game is to like do some kind of deal with a cable service to where some people could go ahead and get if they get some kind of whatever cable service that they have, and then they could get some kind of rebate because of the price of the 500, then everything will be okay. It's a wrap. he was wrong, was he not? Because the PlayStation 4 dominated, right? So to think that the pre-orders, and especially when you guys were over here loving the pre-orders last year, when you had all the pieces, when you had the PlayStation Slim and you had the PlayStation Pro, and y'all won November closely, it was very close. Why you do not think that the most powerful console will not dominate this, will not dominate November? It's not even a question. The Pro is insignificant. The Slim, people have already bought as many Slims as they're possibly going to get. You know what I'm saying? The one, and then the one thing that PlayStation also hurt themselves, and I'm surprised that you not addressed this, Porter Rock, is that the GT Sport Edition that looks absolutely slick is only going to be in Europe. That is an absolute fail because you're missing out on the U.S. market. So all I got to say is that, look, stop crying about it. Take your L, bend the knee, because the time is up. November belongs to the Xbox brand. And you might be coming third because when it comes to game sales, because you don't have nothing but GT to come out at the end of the year. You know what I'm saying? Y'all don't have Noonie Cooney, and because Mario is gonna sell really well at the end for the MPDs, while Xbox is gonna go crazy with PUBG. It's a wrap.
Noonie Cooney.
Noonie Cooney. So that's a wrap. To raise the offer, ladies. Turn this offer right now. Thank you.
Kill him.
I want to slide in real quick. So let's go with Porter Rock's number. So I'm gonna give you a figure. So let's say from June 1st to the 30th, or from April 1st to June 30th, PlayStation sold 3.3 million. Shipped, sold, whatever. Same shit. They made the money. So of that, 1/5 of those were PS4 Pros. This is all from PlayStation. That's about 660,000. So let's say they divided those up evenly among Costco, Best Buy,
Target,
Amazon.
Walmart, yeah.
So that's about 200,000 consoles, roughly. 200,000 consoles for Amazon. That was just from, mind you, that was from April to June. I didn't say nothing about the beginning of the year. Roughly 200,000. We'll just go with 200,000 plus the 86 that K Mega just said. That's about 300,000 because the X has already sold more than the PS4 Pro for the entire year.
Dang.
So at the very bare minimum, they had 300K. At the bare minimum,
I say 500,000. I say 500,000.
They'll do 500K, nothing more.
That's why I just did Amazon. I was just doing Amazon and GameStop. That's it.
No,
bare minimum 300,000.
Yeah. So what are we saying? We all day. I didn't even know he was here. So you're saying
that's why we're here. You're shot at him.
You're saying the X alone, or are you talking about the S combined with the S?
I think the X alone, 500K.
I'm saying the mill. I'm going to limit. I'm gonna say a mill. We doing a mill.
They ain't got no software for that, bro.
Well, you got all the big multiplats this holiday season. Right?
Yeah, the multiplats is what's gonna push everything. Plus the fact that you got this new Xbox commercial now that's with Taco Bell. I don't know if people have seen it. It's pretty slick, you know what I'm saying? And they show a team of Team Osiris.
I'm still kind of mad they signed up with a diarrhea simulator.
Yeah,
but it's cool.
But I mean, PlayStation did the same thing though.
If you take
PlayStation did the gold PlayStation, yeah. So
if you take last year in the account, let's just go to the last 4 months of last year, right? From the last 4 months of last year, PlayStation put out The Last Guardian. 10-year-old trash. I played it, so I can call it trash because I played it. So anybody want to give their opinion, it's irrelevant. Now, that 10-year-old trash went up against Gears, Forza Horizon 2, Dead Rising 4, and Recore, which also at the time was trash. But it went up against those 4 games and PlayStation 1 in November because they put out new hardware. So how, in any spectrum of the world, do you believe that the new hardware, which was $400 when last year around November, you could get an Xbox One S for $300 with the games, is somehow going to not outsell the old hardware this November?
The S will outsell everything.
I can explain. I'll explain that. I'll hit that. All right, number one.
You okay?
All right. Last Guardian. Yeah, Last Guardian came out in December. So November MPD is irrelevant. The games are relevant when we're talking about November. And nothing to do with November. The game didn't come out to December. So remove that point.
Okay, so it didn't have any games. I was trying to give you.
Okay. Number two. The number one selling bundled console was Uncharted Slim. Not the Pro. Pro is pretty much insignificant. Yeah. It was the Uncharted Slim bundle that killed Xbox One. That's what won November. Not the Pro. The Slim. Packed with Uncharted. That's what killed it. That's what won November. Hands down. Right. Period. All right? Now, the thing is, you're going to go up against Slim again this November because that's the king. It ain't the Pro. You guys want to focus the Pro. The king of the throne is the Slim. And you're going to have a Call of Duty Slim bundle. You're going to have a Destiny Slim bundle. And you're gonna have a Star Wars Battlefront. You know, the Star Wars nerds alone is gonna buy a shitload of those consoles just for being nerds, just for being Star Wars nerds alone. You're going to go up against a $200 console with all those major games that people are gonna go in the store. People are just gonna walk in the store and see these bundles. They don't need commercials. They don't need a damn display. They just see a box of popular IPs, and they're just gonna grab that box, pay $200 and walk out the store.
Now, the one thing I will say about that, Porter Rock, now, I will say that the Star Wars will probably sell.
Yes, sir.
But the thing of it is that it's not a customized console like the GT Sport, which I like myself. Like, I will trade that bitch in my PlayStation in to get that because it was dope. But they're only catering to the UK. Now, also another thing that you didn't mention is that for the first time, I think ever, Forza won the reward for best racer at Gamescom. Therefore, that says something because usually, you know what I'm saying, usually GT, you know what I'm saying, especially when there's a GT out there involved, because it has been king, it has dominated so much in the UK. But I think there's a lot of people, and I have been watching a lot of video on GT Sport, and I've been reading a lot of comments. There's a lot of people that's hesitant. There's some that's just completely loyal. But for the most part, a lot of people, and I say about 70%, are disheartened and have even came to the say, like, fuck it, I'm just going to get an Xbox One X because I want to play the better racer.
To be honest, I think Forza won the last couple of ones. I don't think GT won a best racer.
Yeah, Forza's like won before. Forza's won before.
To be honest,
okay.
I got a question. Hold on.
Yeah, I don't think
so. You said the reason that they won November was because of the Uncharted 4 bundle, correct?
Yeah.
Okay. The Uncharted 4 bundle came out in the middle of September. Why didn't they win October?
What happened?
The Uncharted 4 bundle came out in the middle of September. Why didn't they win October?
I don't know. The Uncharted bundle
came out September 15th, bro. So why didn't they win October? I'm just asking the question, bro. I'm just asking the question. If it's because of the Uncharted bundle, not the Pro coming out, why didn't they win? Why didn't they win October?
Well, that silence says a lot, player.
You my man, right? You my man, right? Listen. I'm gonna give you a standing 8. Let me give you a standing 8.
Probably because he has Gears of War.
I can answer that question too. No, hold up. I can answer that question too. All right. What also helped was the price drop. They dropped the price in November. They dropped the price of the Slim down to $250. Because in September, they launched it at $300, and it was getting killed. And even I said last year when that was happening, no one's going to buy a Slim at $300. They need to drop the price to $250, and that's exactly what they did.
In fact, and also they dropped the price to the Pro, which was
like $60.
Which was very unusual for a new piece of hardware to come out.
Yeah, but nobody was buying it.
Yeah,
so they had to do something. Nobody was buying it, but they did drop the price of the Slim to $250, and some places even cheaper. But at $300, I was saying, hey, you're not going to pay. People are not going to pay $300 for a Slim in September, October when the Xbox One S is $300 and you get a Blu-ray player.
Well, another thing that you got to also think about as well, Porter Rock, is that The PlayStation did win the rest of the months, but for I think until after Halo Wars 2, it was so close that you know what I'm saying, that the PlayStation was winning by a minute margin, that it was almost basically 50-50. But until after you know the announcements of certain things that were coming out, and then like there really wasn't any type of Xbox exclusives being touted or that was going to be coming out at that time, then that's when PlayStation started taking the lead again and dominating. So again, that's why I'm saying this was a risky bet that you took, because if the S is doing as well as it was at a cheaper price, and then you know that's going to be bundled. You got that Minecraft bundle that's going to be coming out, and I think they're being bullish.
Hey, next day, for the people that don't know, can you repeat the bet that's going on?
Okay, the bet is, the people that don't know, I'm quite sure everybody knows by now. I mean, first of all, hit the like. I got nearly 200 people in here. 61 likes. Hit
that like button, guys.
2 seconds. We're going to have some. I promise you, we're going to have some fun tonight. Listen, me and Porter has a bet that I told him that the Xbox One will outsell the PS4 come November. So that's our bet. You know what I mean?
Yeah, the entire family.
Yeah, whatever the Pro with the S with whatever there's something you can even add the VR if you like. I'm just that confident.
VR's a peripheral. That's not a console. They don't
you can add that. You can add that too if you want to. Dog shit. So you know, if I win, I get a game of my choice. If he wins, he gets a game of his choice. That's the bet. You know what I mean? So,
so now, let me tell you. Anyway, let me just say this. Okay, so now what will make you think that now that there's going to be this console that's going to make all games except for I guess Destiny 2, because Destiny is not doing HDR for the Xbox, not yet anyway. But it's still going to look better. You know, that nobody is going to actually get out and go purchase the Xbox One X or the Slim when the PlayStation ran off of the Slim and off of that Uncharted, you know what I'm saying, bundle. It just the writing is on the wall that this is Xbox end of the year. This is their fall. Xbox is going to dominate. I mean, you know what I'm saying, Nintendo is going to do very well, and I think they're going to outdo everybody with Mario when it comes to game sales on just exclusives. But when it comes to the console, it just the writing is on the wall, bro. It's you got the X and you got the Slim, you got the Minecraft Slim. Those things are going to sell off the rack.
I thought the Minecraft was sold out already. I think
it is.
I think
that tells you they're going to make some more for November.
But I'm saying I went to because I wanted to see actually how it was doing. I went to look on Amazon. Is that something sold exclusively out of what, their store, or they have a contract with somebody?
That part I don't know, but I know it's $400, and I'm like, that's what I said.
I heard it sold out.
That's ridiculous. $400. There's no way that I would pay $400 for that console, even though it looks kind of slick. Yeah, but they're definitely going to have have it ready for a Black Friday. So the writing is on the wall. It's evident that Xbox is going to win.
Let me help you out here.
Okay, go ahead. Thank you, bro.
Right? Appreciate it. Let me help you out. All right, listen.
He needs some milk.
Oh man!
In order for Xbox to win November,
you rock on that mojo.
In order for Xbox to win November, you need the One S to sell. That $500 console is not going to beat out the $200 cheaper. People do not have a problem buying a weaker product for a cheaper price. People don't have that problem, all right, at all. It's been done before. It's going to be done again. People don't have a problem just buying what they need for a good price. Okay,
right.
The Xbox One S is selling like shit. It is now a 5-figure selling console. This past month, it sold under 100K. 5-figure selling consoles is consoles like the Wii U, Dreamcast, and all the other shit. It's selling like shit all year long, right? The Xbox One S is not going to have this huge sales like it did the year before, whatever. All right? I'm not saying the brand is not only crazy shit like that, all right? But the Slim is going to kill the Xbox family, right? Because the One S is not selling as big due to the lack of games or whatever, right? And the One X is just too expensive to compete with a $200 console that everybody could just play games on.
Okay, and that's why. Well, that's why I disagree. It's because if PlayStation had a strong lineup at the end of the year, then it would have you might have been right on that theory. But the problem is that PUBG is not going to be a $60 game.
It's going to be about PUBG. Hit the like button.
PUBG is going to be like what, $30-$40?
Yeah, 30.
And people are going to lose their mind trying to get it. If they've been watching this game on Mixer, if they've been anticipating this game to come out to the Xbox, and that's all they're waiting for, even if because not only they can play that game on the X, they can play that game on the X.
If anything, it's gonna sell. It's gonna sell the X.
That's what I was just saying.
Can I interject for a minute?
Go ahead, brother.
I just want to say shout out to the panel.
Post up here, bro.
All right, now here we no, in regards to PUBG, we was talking about that earlier, but for what I understand, it will be 30 frames per second on the Xbox One S. The developers came out and stated that they just recently got the dev kits and they already up to like 40, 45 frames per second on the X, but they are shooting for 60 frames per second on the Xbox One X. And if they hit that, it's gonna be a wrap. I promise you. If they hit 4K or 60 frames or even 4K checkerboard, 60 frames on the X, oh man, that game is gonna be a problem. It's gonna be a huge system seller.
And Deacon Post Up is absolutely right, because if they do 60 frames per second on the X, that only intensifies the fact that people are saying, look, I'll trade in my PlayStation and my Xbox in order to get the better version of PUG.
You do got a version.
And I'm not saying everybody. I'm definitely not saying everybody.
I'm sorry. You got PC players that will lower the graphical standards on their system just to maintain a 60 frames per second 60 frames per second stable, just to maintain it stably. They will compromise the chat. Y'all hear me? Compromise. They will compromise the graphical quality of the game to get that stable 60 frames per second. And if you got the Xbox One X that's doing that, even at 1800p checkerboarded up to 4K, or even at 4K 60 on a console, then that's going to be a problem during the holiday season.
Okay, wait.
People will go buy the X just to run that game at that type of quality and frame rate.
But hold on, and let me interject this, because the Kenny 3000 was like, okay, people are going to sell going to trade in 2 consoles for 1 game. No, it's more than 1 game, because you forget about the multiplats. There's one thing that Pastor Z that always states is that multiplats rule. You know what I'm saying? Everything around us, the multiplats rule, right? So therefore,
around us,
you know what I'm saying? So really what the thing of it is that it's not only in a good investment to trade in whatever Xbox that you have, or if you, let's say that you have multiple PlayStations or whatever, to get the better playing multiplats. And if you got Battlefront 2, which is going to be cheaper on the Xbox. Let's not forget about that through EA Access. You know what I'm saying? If you also want to get COD, that's going to look better. You want to get Shadow of Mordor.
No, are you speaking to the casual, or are you speaking to the hardcore?
I'm talking to everyone. I'm talking to everyone. Like for the casuals, they have certain games like that they want to play that they're accustomed to. Like if they are single player centric players, no, of course they're not going to get rid of their PlayStation. But another thing of it that's going to change this narrative, especially down the line towards the Xbox favor, is that those multiplats, I mean those exclusives right now, that's third party for the PlayStation, because it's so easy to make on the Xbox X, they're definitely going to be coming. So Nier Automata, Hellblade, you know what I'm saying? I even think Lawbreakers is going to break down and try to do something, even though it's failing on the PlayStation right now. I think that they're going to come back to the Xbox brand, and then you also will have other games. If they've been already touted on the play through like Aaron Greenberg and them saying there's more Japanese games coming to the Xbox, and I think that those are some of the games that's coming.
Okay, I have a question. Wait, what's going on, Jay? I didn't even know you hopped in the room.
Fonzarelli, what up, bro?
Yeah, Fonz?
Yeah.
Listen, I didn't even know you were in here. Would you like to chime in on this?
You know, he's been in here for like the last 10 minutes, right?
I don't know what I was looking at.
Well,
the thing is,
hey,
I don't know if I heard correctly, but post up, did you say the PUBG was going to be 60 frames per second?
I said that developers
No,
came
they're
out and
aiming for
stated
them.
they were
They're
targeting 60 frames. They said they had recently just got the dev kits and that they already had it running like at 40, 45 frames per second, but they're going to try to target 60 frames per second. Now, whether they hit that or not, we don't know. But they did state it's going to be 30 frames per second on like things like the Xbox One S.
I'm here to break the news to you. It will not be 60 frames per second, guys. It'll be 30 frames per second locked on the X. Guaranteed. Guaranteed.
Why is that? Talk to us.
And that's based on the PC players that I've talked to, how it's not even optimized for PC that well right now. I mean, it's a great game and everything, and it's running, I guess, decent, but they said that on some lower-end systems or even middle-of-the-road systems, it's chugging along even when they bring down graphic fidelity.
Okay,
but I stated that.
Well, okay, but let me inject real fast.
No, something you said, Kingmaker, before we move on.
He hit you with the la.
Yeah, before we move on. Hey,
fucking lizard.
About the whole third party.
Cobra.
About the whole third party coming to Xbox because of the One X development. Listen, it has nothing to do with development because the Xbox One S and vanilla is not hard to develop for. If anything, they use DX12. Developers know how to use DX12. So third-party games not coming to Xbox isn't because of development cycle. It's because of market share. They go where the market share is. It has nothing to do with development.
Let's make my point to
Xbox always been easy to develop. Always has been.
That is untrue.
Necessarily translate into.
That's completely and utterly false.
That's false. That is false because of the fact that the Xbox One X, that's the Xbox One fat is one of the reasons why it got scrutinized so much because developers was having such a hard time because the power was held back because of the Kinect. But anyway, I'm going to just go to answer Fonzarelli right fast. Look, it's just like with the Rise of the Tomb Raider. Once those developers get out there and talk and work and try to enhance those graphics, it was just like, okay, the interview that Jeff Keighley had with the ARC guy, the ARC dev, and he was talking and bragging about how the Xbox One X they're going to push that game and it's going to do this, it's going to do that. He was very, very high, very highly talking about the Xbox One X. Once those people get out there and start talking and working with the devs, I think it can be achievable. I'm not saying that it can or not because I don't know.
I raised the question here, Fonzarelli,
but I won't say it's not directly going to happen. It just doesn't seem.
Here's my thing here, and again, whether they get it to 60 or not. But one thing, again, what was just explained to me, and I'm not claiming that I can solve Chinese math in 2 seconds. Okay, that's not my claim to fame. But one thing, again, that the console, a static box, a closed environment, has over a PC is a optimization, and developers can target those set specs 100% of the time. And it's not, on PC you have AMD, he has Intel. There's 1,000 different iterations, you know what I mean? And it is still a small company without a lot of resources out their hand. And you also realize that Microsoft is what they didn't pay. They don't cut the check. They're going to go there and wherever their studio is located and give them a hand. You know what I mean? So
yeah, and that's what I wanted to that's what I was going to say.
I'm not saying.
I understand all that.
Hey,
but
I have one question though.
We're not saying that you're wrong, Fonzarelli, but I mean, just to come out and say that it's absolutely going to be.
Hey, quick question about PUBG. All right, it's an online multiplayer game, right? It's all online, right?
Yes.
And the One X is going to play with Xbox One S and vanilla players, right? Or they're separate? Are they separated?
No,
right? So they're all together. So why would one game run at 60 frames and the other one at 30?
Because the hardware
online multiplayer frame rates doesn't affect online multiplayer.
Right, and it's just like with the PC. That's why I think a lot of PC people they're not liking the situation with the X. They can tout all they want to about how it's this way, it's that way, it's not comparable with ultra PC settings and shit like that. The thing of it is that this is the first console that actually enhances games to a level like a PC. because it doesn't. It's just like when you're playing somebody on the PC. I don't know if you guys. I know a couple of us got gaming PCs, but it's just like when you're playing with somebody online on PC. It doesn't. You don't know what their frame rates or what's going on over there on that side. All you know is that you're playing against them. You know what I'm saying? It does. You know what I'm saying? It doesn't matter. The X is not going to be separate. The X can be separated by being more powerful and having people play it at a higher setting than the people then on the S.
Not only that, the PUBG development team was already small to begin with. So I understand why they having some difficulties in regards to the performance of the game. And I think that's another reason why Microsoft is sending developers over there, a team over there, to help them with the optimization. And I think that's going to bode well, not only for the Xbox One X, but for the PC crowd as well. Because whatever optimization that they get on the Xbox One X, it will translate over to the PC version as well. Whatever trickeries and things that they figure out, and when optimizing for the X, those gains will transfer over into the PC community too, and it will help boost the performance there. So we'll just have to wait and see. But I do agree with Fonzarelli. I'm not really getting my hopes up high for 60 frames per second. The safe bet in this case will be a lock 30 frames per second. Hoping they get it to 60, but the safe bet, even if they want to reach the deadline as far as November or December or whenever it's going to get released, 30 frames per second will be the safe bet.
Yeah, and that's not a knock for me.
It ain't a knock for me either.
Yeah, as far as PUBG is concerned, I'm excited for the game regardless if it's 30 or 60. I'd rather have 60, of course. But at the same time, guys, like, it's just people. Sometimes they might mishear you. They might hear you say, "Oh, they're going for that 60 frame target," and then they're going to run around and say, "Post Up said it's going to be 60."
No, that's what they say. That's what they say.
No, I know. People just hear us differently sometimes. You got to watch what you say sometimes, because that's how I heard it at first. I was like, "Wait a minute."
No. I was saying they was targeting it, and I just want to make that clear. They was targeting it. I think that the expectations need to be lowered within the community itself in regards to the capability of the X and comparing that to the PC master race. The PC is always going to be master race,
and I don't care.
And I don't care. I'm with Fonzarelli on this. I don't care because I'm a console platform player. That's what I prefer. But it's nothing wrong with console gamers wanting PC-like quality and performance in a console. It's nothing wrong with that. And the PC master race shouldn't be shitting on them gamers for wanting that. But the community can't shit on the PC gamer if this can compete with the best of them.
If a PC person has spent thousands of dollars they invested thousands of dollars into their PC, of course they're not going to go to a console because it doesn't make any sense. You would be downgrading yourself. But for the millions upon millions upon millions, and we'll get into a story about with the pirate game here a little bit later. For the millions of people that doesn't have those super ultra high-end PCs
or can't afford them,
and then they can afford an Xbox One X. You know what I'm saying? Maybe with a trade-in or some kind of value or something. You know what I'm saying? Whatever that rebate or whatever, it makes all the sense in the world. That's why I'm saying that there are a lot of people that's quiet that really are going to jump on the Xbox One X. It's just
listen. Listen. I've had my fair share of detractors, or you know what I mean. And again, a lot. What I antagonize the people out there. Sure, I do. It's YouTube, it's entertainment, okay. But all jokes aside, and again, I'm new to this. Well, I'm still seeing them. I've been doing this for about 4 years now. No, 2013, 4 years. 2013, right? More or less. I didn't understand even then when I started doing that. People, PC guys, because some one console. You got Xbox, you got PlayStation, you even got Nintendo. You know what I mean? I never understood them why they wanted to interject themselves into this fictional console war. I don't listen, and I'm not.
It's not called PC Master Race for nothing, bro.
But listen, master of who? Listen,
everything, bro.
Everybody. They're master of everybody.
But
in regards to gaming and rigs, games are created on PCs and then transferred.
Listen, hold on. Let me say this: men lie, women lie,
numbers don't
lie. Now,
okay, talk to.
In 2012.
Let's
be honest.
Listen, I'm an underachiever. I am a goat mom. I am a lazy joker. But I recall me doing a video in 2012 when I seen someone sent me these Steam surveys back then. And believe it or not, the Wii U was more capable than a lot of people rigged. Just the Wii U. What's what you not? I swear on my dead mama. Now, again, to bring you into precedent, if you go to, they say the Sea of Thieves community forum, how many of these fucking PC weirdos with bad posture and scoliosis were begging for 540p at 15 frames a second? Now, listen here. I can't listen. These ain't my words. This is the Lord's words here. These jokers are out there. So we hear your cries, 540p at 15 frames per second. They go to my original. All these jokers, they be in the comment section. They don't have those type of people. It's a fact. You guys have. Well, see, not everyone took that survey. I didn't take it. Shut the fuck up. Stop it. Stop.
Well, it's there's always been a case of jealousy when it comes to certain gamers on all sides. But the PC in general, they weren't used to getting some of the exclusives that the console guys were getting at times. There's a lot of exclusives they were not accustomed to getting before, but now it seems like they're getting more and more of those exclusives, Microsoft, and they've become more
PlayStation.
They've been interjecting themselves because of that fact alone, that they're able to play those games even better. And not only that, there's also fanboys on all sides that like to stick their nose or poke a stick at each other. And I mean, I call them out. I'll call out a PC guy, a Sony guy, and an Xbox guy on Twitter for just acting a fool, just poking a stick at the other side.
Okay, Mega.
For no goddamn reason. It makes no sense. They'll just put up a meme saying the X is going to rule the PC master race. And I'm like, what the fuck is that about? Because let's be honest here. The X is not the second coming. The X is a damn good console.
Yes.
But comparing it to a high-end PC is stupid, in my opinion. Stupid.
Well, that's everybody else. Xbox has not stated that they are on that. They say the most powerful console ever. It is the people that, even with Digital Foundry and others, that are trying to tout it to be on that level of the most superior PCs out there in the wild. And that's why, for this conversation is minute, because of the fact that it isn't. It's a fucking console. No, PC is always going to be more superior. But the one thing that I will interject is that the Xbox One X is a marvel of technology that is putting notice on everyone out there in the gaming spectrum. For the mere fact that they're saying, go ahead, what you gonna say?
Get it twisted. Sony themselves started this shit with the whole PS Pro.
They did.
It was targeting a PC audience.
I have a question.
Listen to this. Let me finish.
Okay.
Now the X seems to be continuing that trend. You see it more and more in the media. People are talking about, comparing it to high-end PCs, which is just crazy to me.
Well, these consoles, but the fun part is these consoles. Let me say this, and then I'm gonna stop, and I'm gonna shut up for a while. But I want to say this because the Pro and the Xbox One X, and well, hell, even if you go back to the 360 and the PlayStation 3, those at one time there was somebody that posted that in the chat. They were more powerful than PC.
They were at that specific time, though.
Over.
At that specific time, they were, but it's different in this era now.
But yeah, it is different. It is different. But what I'm saying is that the X is now making a statement like, PC, you have been, you have the power to be more powerful, but we are going to be more powerful. And we're going to be powerful and more for.
But here's the thing. There's so many variables with the PC. You can interchange parts. You can do it. You can lower.
That's not what I'm saying. My question to you, Father Rose, is
versa. My point is, you can never top a high.
Listen, this is my question. This is my question to you. And again, I understand that you can get 5, you can run 4 GTX 1080Is and SLI. I understand that. But at what point do you consider a high end PC? It's a PC with a 6 teraflop GPU?
No, I say a 1080p 60 frames per second is a high-end PC to me.
I'm just saying. I'm talking about GPU-wise, burnt power. What would you consider it being a high-end PC? Because just to be honest, again, fair,
1080 Ti.
Okay, so anything below that is not a high-end PC.
I
wouldn't say all that.
I wouldn't say that.
It's because it's so many. You got slide, you got dual slide, you got
quad
slide. You can really depending on how much money you have.
I get
you
that.
can
I'm
really
talking about teraflop performance, which is the cutoff 5-6 teraflops.
I don't think it goes by. I think what they go by is
because teraflops is only
go by the car. I mean, go by the car.
For like a PC, what they consider high end now is what they could do with 4K. That would be like the high. Like 1080p, like 1080p used to be the high end PC, not no more.
But there's not that many 4K. They're not.
There's monitors that can do 8K.
Okay, one at a time.
Here's the thing: there's not that many PCs are relevant because there's not going to be that many Xbox One X owners. The majority of Xbox owners are going to be the Slim and the Vanilla. But that doesn't discredit the fact that the One X is still the most. No, but that doesn't discredit the fact that the One X is the most powerful console. It doesn't go by how many people own it.
And that's why you shitted on your own theory, Porter Rock, because of the fact that
theory about mine.
Here we go.
Here we go.
With power. Stop it.
Get that nigga, man. You got him on the ropes. Get him. Choke him out.
Because of this. Because the Xbox One is so powerful than any other console that's ever been made, it is. It's so much more powerful. So the thing of it is, we're talking about true fucking 50% power over the Pro, not the alternative facts, bro. This is this is it right here.
So disrespectful.
When you sit here and you have a console that is to a PC person that can only push 720p, and they're like, fuck, if I really want to buy a graphics card that's going to be as much as a console, and I don't have to worry about all the issues and problems that I get with black screen and other things like this. I could just plug and play. That right there makes a massive difference to a lot of people, a lot of PC gamers.
Don't forget, you got to pay for services. You got to pay for.
Let me tell you something.
That part is true.
This is your fallacy in your argument. Number one, they don't have an issue. PC gamers don't have an issue with like addressing, updates and all the stuff that you find tedious. They don't have an issue with that. Number one of the main reasons they're PC gamers is because they could do what they want when they want. If they buy a 1X, that's it. The console's locked. All right. Hold up. Next year they could.
How was it locked when more games?
Because you locked in hardware. You can't upgrade a 1X. It's locked. It's done.
But the thing about it is that look,
with a PC gamer, they can get help. You could get a 10 teraflop GPU for $399 right now.
Okay. But again,
you see what I'm saying? They can always upgrade their PC when they and hold up.
Okay, a 10 teraflop,
one at a time.
And besides just upgrading the components, they have more control of their software. They can mod. They don't pay online. Okay. There's a lot of other things.
They don't pay for games.
Okay,
they don't pay for games.
They
pirate. Also, here's the biggest thing. They also pirate. If anything else, that's the biggest thing they do.
But what you said. So right there, you just labeled PC gamers to being cheap and that they don't want to pay for anything except for what that they can scam.
Okay. It's a lot of. Let me tell you something. Let me tell you something. I usually don't. Sometimes I agree with Porter Rock, but look, I come from a PC culture. Look. It's a lot of pirating going on the PC. You can let these guys sit up here and fool you like they paying for these games if you want to, bruh. Hey, they look at what happened with GTA.
Okay, listen.
Again, with GTA.
Let me say this now. Again, that's still addressing Puerto Rock. I'm not saying that you're wrong, but there is a large. I'll say not large, but there are some people that buy the PC not to play the Dotas. Not for the world of fantasy and all stuff, for the multiplats, Steam, you know what I mean? And for that consumer there, you understand what I'm saying? That's, again, may even be casual, maybe want to have the better, prettier version of the multiplats. And if the X's come in, that's why I asked you what you consider at a high-end PC. Because if you take a PC with the same specs as the X would do cartwheels around it. That's just a fact.
Yeah. Whoa.
That's all I'm saying.
Hold on. Let me say it. Sorry, let me finish with Zaire. Zaire, here's the thing. We're gonna address those PC gamers with the multiplats. On PC, they will get those multiplats cheaper. They have the option. To buy video cards to get a better performance, and
spend more money.
They can manipulate. Listen, they can manipulate the games to run at 60 frames. For example, let's take Destiny. PC gamers can run that game at 60. Console gamers cannot.
Okay.
We don't have a choice.
Okay.
PC gamers like choice.
Hold on. Let me just go ahead.
And I add, it's free for them to play these games. They don't pay. They're not playing. They're not going to pay.
But I'm not negating. Listen, here's the thing. I'm speaking to such as myself. I spent a ridiculous amount of money on the PC just to play
12,000.
Just to play multiplats. I done bought 3 goddamn PCs. And I don't play any games on Know What's Up just to play the multiplats. And again, I was just as I joined this community because it never crossed my mind ever to play games on the computer. That's some shit when I came to YouTube. You know what I mean? But now I'm a man of very little means, and I say to say this right. But there is a consumer, and you can't say that it's not, that just want to again because it is a lot of hassle. It's not all peaches and cream over there on the PC side of things because again, I took advantage of some of those Steam sales and stuff before I got my first rig, and to go to boot up, I get the blue screen of death. That's why back in like 2012. Go to call. Ain't no hotline for Steam. You know what I mean? I had to send an email. I had to go to a Russian site.
I'm gonna shut this whole theory down. Let me say this right here. Let me shut this shit right now. People, look on the screen. Look on K Mega share screen right now, please. Okay. 11 teraflop Titan X GPU. Okay, now Porter Rock just said that you can get it for $399. What the fuck is he talking about? Some has criticized the hefty $1,200 price, pointing out that the increase in performance is negligible for the next day user. $1,200. Where the fuck are you getting $399?
That's only one card, bro.
Okay. I need to say this before we proceed.
Come on,
I need to say this before.
Wow.
Look, teraflops are theoretical performance. Okay. And even if you got a graphic cards with 10 or 11 teraflops, it's not 100% fact that GPU is going to hit that 10 or 11 teraflops, get the 400% out of those 10 or 11 teraflops.
That's why
I said cards out here that's 10 teraflops where people only getting like 40, 50, 60% of the performance out of that card.
It's everything around it.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Based on the optimization. So
that's
you know what I'm saying? You got to be careful when we throwing these T-flops.
Hey, hold on. Hey, wait. No, I want to answer K-Mega's question. So I can show it real quick so we can move on.
I'm believing. Hold on. So you can answer.
Share my screen real quick. So that way I can show K-Mega.
Listen, listen, I got to step away from the mic. Post up, run the show. I got to let the dog and stuff out. So
okay, get the fuck out of here.
So K-Mega. Yes, sir. All right. You see, everybody see my screen?
Yeah.
All right. Okay, here we go. AMD's releasing, and it already came out this month, and prices will start for $399 for RX Vega 56. $399.
Okay. When is that coming out, though?
Okay, in August.
Okay,
right there.
Okay.
That's the RX Vega 56?
August. All right. See, right there. You see it?
Mm-hmm.
So it's already out. See, August Vega 56, $399.
That's just for the graphics card, right?
In terms of teraflops of processing power, the $399 RX Vega manages 10.5 T-flops.
Okay, okay, that's $499. Okay, what about
$399?
That's just for the graphics card,
That's for the graphics card, right?
Hold up. We're talking about people who are already PC gamers.
Okay, we are talking about people that are already PC gamers.
Okay,
but what about their CPU? What about their CPU that can?
Who says? You know what I'm saying? Hold on. The CPU, and these consoles are laptop CPUs. So what are we fighting for? What are we fighting over? They might already have the good CPU. That doesn't necessarily mean they have to buy it.
Yeah, they don't have to upgrade. They don't have to upgrade their CPU every year like we do. We should, because we got dog shit CPUs in these consoles.
Yeah,
I'm tired of hearing about these teraflops. Look, I got 9 teraflops in my pants. I'm tired of hearing about teraflops. All right.
Yeah, and that's what I wanted to kind of calm down on the.
That's not the total issue. Everybody talks about GPU power all the time in these consoles. While it's fantastic, it's great. The CPUs are dog shit, guys. They're
okay, but Fonzarelli, this is the thing that we're trying to make here. For people out here that wants to buy a $400 thing, if they're invested, if they have the right CPU, if they have the right everything else amongst their PC, they have the right RAM, all this, because it takes more than just one fucking piece of hardware to make everything work on your PC, right?
Well, it depends, K-Mega. It depends.
No, I know it depends. If you're diehard PC, I've stated this, you're not going to go to console because you already entirely invested. But for the people that don't have, that has a 720p that's just now integrated to the 1080p, you know what I'm saying, can hit 60 frames, maybe a little bit higher. This console for $500 is a better buy.
Here's the thing. Okay, Mega, again, you're not factoring in, all right? They lose control. They lose control of frame rate. They no longer can decide if they can play at 60 frames. You know, so if an Xbox One game comes out and it's 30 frames, they're playing at 30 frames. They may not want that. To them, frames might be important. Number two, they have to start paying for online. Number three, they don't get mods. Number four, they don't get to pirate. Number five, they lose out on special deals.
That's not true, because mods are starting to get increasingly.
And this is the last big point. The entire library they already have on PC, they can't take it with them on the One X. They have to start all over.
Okay, K-Mac gonna respond.
Okay, now the point that I'm trying to make, I'm not saying that those people that are highly invested in the PC are going to switch. I never said that. I'm saying the people that have looked at it from a standpoint to where they have a low-end PC.
So you mean the people that have been having a PC since like 2008?
Right.
They barely want to upgrade.
Yeah, the people still fucking using XP. Shit like that. There are people out there that still have a lower.
Well, to me, if that's their choice, then they don't really give a fuck about their gaming situation.
Why would they care about 4K now?
No, because of the fact that if if they want to move their game, look, there's a reason, right? If there's a reason why people have, because it was free to get Windows 10. But the thing of it is that if there are people out there that Xbox has to cater to get Sea of Thieves to drop to those lower frames per second, those are the people that they're going to cater to. And those are the people that's going
on a fucking tablet.
I want to say this.
It doesn't matter. That still sells for the X.
I want to say this.
Still makes things, you know what I'm saying? And look, regardless of how, you know what I'm saying, there's a lot of PC people that do like their freedom and do like to do mods and things like that. But there's also people that want to have stable games, and they want to have other type of stabilities that the consoles can provide. And that's not only just with the Xbox, that's with the PlayStation or Nintendo as well.
You know what this debate remind me of? It reminds me of the Galaxy phones versus the Apple phone. On one hand, you got the Samsung S8, which you got the Galaxy OS operating system, which is an open platform. You can do what you want with it. And on the other hand, you got Apple, which is they have their own proprietary software that controls what you can and can't do.
No, it's like comparing apples to oranges.
Yeah.
Because here's the thing. Why are we still comparing high-end PCs to the X? Stop it!
I don't know. Stop. You
that's the media. That is the media.
No, it's not, because you guys are arguing this shit. And
okay, when you look at the standpoint of where of a high-end PC, that's the one thing that like me and Don was having this conversation the other night, and he was like, "Look, it's all about what a person has in their computer, which you know what I'm saying, which is irrelevant because." Who's to say? We were just trying to figure out right now who has a high-end PC or not. Is it 1080p? Is it 4K? Is it fucking 720p? That's the whole thing. Look, you know what I'm saying? You cannot blame Microsoft for what other individuals may say, because they say console. They don't say PC. That's the digital foundries. They may be
well,
other
the
YouTubers
comparisons
that
have been
shit.
made that shouldn't have gotten made, bro.
Well, that's
man,
well, you know what I'm saying.
Matter, man, because it's a lot of things that come into play. You can have a computer with a powerful CPU and a powerful graphics processor in there, but what if the bus speed on the motherboard itself doesn't match the speed that the CPU and the GPU has? It's gonna bottleneck. So no matter how fast that CPU and GPU is, if the motherboard bus speed doesn't match it in some form, those two things don't mean nothing, because they could come out on fast, but it's still going to slow down once they get to the bus. It's a lot of things come into play. You have people who have computers. You have people who have computers who got nice rigs that can just go out and swap the GPU out and be good, or swap a CPU out and be good. You have people who don't have rigs, who don't know how to build it, that might be content with a console. And then you have people, you know what I'm saying? It's just.
Let me be honest here. Now, if I was if I could deal with mouse and keyboard on a PC, and I was into the PC gaming thing, I would jump into PC gaming for $700 over the X personally, just because of all the variables there, all the things to do with the PC that I can't do with the X. Let's be real here, and the fact that most of the Xbox exclusives are there too. I would definitely be jumping on a $700 PC over the X. But that's
facts. I can see that.
But also include the PlayStation as well. I mean, that's another thing that you need to address, Fonzarelli.
I'm a console guy. So
well, I am too. But I'm just saying.
So that's why
I take the console, because you can get emulators.
Hold on, let him finish. Let him finish, and I'll let you respond. Go ahead, Fonzarelli.
For me, for $500. Because it sounds like I'm just shitting on the X, which I don't mean to be sounding like, but I'm just trying to keep it real between PCs and consoles. They should never be compared in that way. I think the only guys that should ever compare graphics from a PC game to a console game are those that know what the fuck they're talking about, number one. Okay? Because most of us, let's face it, we don't know what the fuck we're talking about when it comes to PC tech. Most of us here don't on this panel. Post up, he may know something about that, but you, Mega, me, all day, we don't know shit about that stuff. So to have the conversation about that is moot. It just shouldn't even,
because it have to be from a technical standpoint. You have to really delve into knowing, the technical aspects of setting up a computer and things like that, or even optimizing it and what memory and all that stuff to get. And that's something we don't want to go into.
But see, the one thing that I can address, because I do have a gaming. Well, no, this is the thing. I do have a gaming PC, and I know the fucking difference. That's the thing. No, when it comes to a whole lingo talking about teraflops, pterodactyls, you know what I'm saying, CPUs, RPUs, I don't give a fuck about that. I just
but you have a PC, you have a gaming
Let
PC,
me talk, God damn it. Let me say my point. As a person that got a gaming goddamn PC and I play on this bitch, and I spent over fucking $900 for this piece of shit. And
you got ripped off, man.
No. I didn't pay anybody to fix this shit. I did this shit myself, and this shit works, and it works well.
So,
but let me make
go ahead.
point.
Hurry up, fucker.
No, fuck you. Let me say my point. This is the thing I'm trying to say, is that when I come in and I put in a certain game, and that motherfucker goes black screen, like, okay, let's say Street Fighter 5. I bought Street Fighter 5 and went black screen. What the fuck did it go black screen for? I go to Steam. Look, I bought the whole I bought season 1, season 2 on this bitch. Why is this shit not working for me? So then I got to go and I got to find it. There's a difference for me going here and trying to look and find what I'm looking for in the call an Xbox Live or PlayStation or fucking Nintendo or whatever, and saying, I'm having a problem with this game. There's another reason why I can go and I can look and I can say, God damn it, I'm over here playing, I'm playing Hellblade, and then say my computer might shut down, right? Well, I gotta buy a new fucking thing. I gotta buy a new cooler.
Did this really happen, or you just saying what if?
No. I'm being from some of these things, not all of these things. I've heard other people say this stuff as well. Like, okay, I'm playing Hellblade. Or I'm playing another high-end game where I want to push max fucking settings because I got everything else on this fucking computer to work to the capability, but I gotta buy a fucking I gotta buy a liquid fucking cooler system
What
to
do you
make that motherfucker work? Instead of the extra fan that I bought with the fucking PC in order for that motherfucker to work at high end when I know that I got the graphics card and the CPU to fucking work better.
Wait. Depends on what you were trying to do. You said you need a liquid cooling system for your CPU. I mean, are you trying to overclock it or something? What was you trying to do?
No. What I'm saying is that
did you not put enough?
Because you know, before you buy games, you need to look at the requirements.
Look at the requirements, but that's
it comes down to this.
Here's one thing, real quick.
Oh shit! Here we go.
Here's one thing.
Mega didn't know what the fuck he was talking about. That's what it came
All right. No, what the fuck you mean?
Okay. What is that? Hold on. Let P-Rock go. Let P-Rock go.
Here's one thing.
Go ahead.
So K-Make addressed that sometimes you have issues with PC. You know, faults, problems, whatever.
Right.
But I guarantee. I know, but that's part of nature. But I guarantee.
I'm really trying to shit on people.
Oh man, I know, but get it. No, but
if I've had these issues, this person.
Hold on. Let
them go, okay, Megan.
Let P-Rock go. I'm gonna give you a second. I know you want to respond. Go ahead, P-Rock, bitch. Go ahead, P-Rock.
There's gonna be issues, whatever. But more often than not, on a common basis, there are games. A lot of games on consoles that run at 30 frames, and a lot of PC gamers will not play that. They're not going to play that. They rather deal the occasional issue or the occasional fan that blows out or replace a power supply than to consistently play 30 frames and they can do nothing about it. They're not playing that shit. And that's why they stay with PC. They will deal with the issues. Most of them, they've been playing on PC games for so long, they already know, they know the product reviews, they know what consoles or what the product or what, shit products have out there. But they're not going to be stuck on playing 30 frames. When they were so used to controlling the games and do the settings and adjustment to play 60. Because again, for most gamers, and I think we all agree, frame rate is more important than graphics.
I understand for what you're saying, Rock. This is not about. Look, this is another issue amongst PC that where I've been advocating.
After you chime in, I'm gonna let Masson go because I know he wanted to say something.
Oh, okay. No, let him go. Let him go.
All right, go ahead, Masson.
As the probably the one person on this panel outside of Post Up that is a PC guy, like I've built more rigs than I can count. The way everyone in this panel is talking is like there's two sides to PC gaming. There's the people that are entry-level PC gamers. They just have a PC and they call themselves PC gamers. They haven't upgraded this bitch since 2004. They just barely scraping because in order to upgrade the computer, they basically need to buy a brand new rig. So they need to buy all $1,000 worth of stuff to get the same level they got back in 2004.
Right.
So the way that those people work, they would be considering an X, not because of all the control and all that, simply because it'll upgrade their gaming experience instantly. Those are the people K-Mega was talking about at first. The people that Porter Rock is talking about that are, already well-versed in PC gaming, those people upgrade periodically. So every 4 to 5 years, they upgrade their GPU. Then they have to upgrade their CPU. So they upgrade their motherboard. I do this all the time. I swap these parts out all the time for these people. But those same people are not the ones that are going to think about buying an X. They're like you said, they're already invested in PC gaming. So they're going to stay there. The problem is that all those people that are out there doing all those low-end PCs, the same people that are playing at 580p, whatever, 15 frames per second. Those people exist on PC, not just on the tablet. They exist on PC. That is a real thing. You'll see people chug along in games, even playing them. You can tell it's not lag because you're not skipping. No one else is skipping. They are moving at a pace where it looks like they're standing still because their PC doesn't run the game well. That is a real thing. Those people are going to be the ones that say, okay, maybe if I just spend this $500 instead of I had to buy that $499 Vega 64, or 56, which by the way you can't find. So in order to get either one of the Vega cards, you have to pay at least $900 just to put that out there.
Okay,
because they're not available. But in order to buy that, I have to also upgrade my CPU so it matches the $400
power supply
CPU I got. I have to buy a power supply because I'm running some, 80 bronze 400 megawatt power supply that cannot run this card and run a comparable CPU.
And that's the issue that I had to go do.
Upgrading the GPU.
Hold on.
It's a matter of upgrading everything.
Hold on. But to elaborate on what Master, it says it depends though. It depends on what motherboard you have. Because if it's an old motherboard, depending on the CPU socket, that motherboard is only extendable. Well, that socket is only extendable to certain chipsets.
Right.
So
Within it,
depending on what motherboard you got, I tell you what CPU can the farthest you can go in regards to upgrading your CPU. Now, some people got motherboards now that already supports the new CPUs that's that's coming out.
Right. So that means in the last like 3 years,
I just spent $500 last year
at the very least.
Yeah, and I paid $240 for my motherboard. But I still had older components because I've been had this old
got them ISA slots. I had them IDE cables in there.
I had the older shit. I was thinking like I could go ahead and be cheap with it, but I've had to increase everything else. And the big thing I thought it was like, well, goddamn, my CPU. I just bought this new CPU last year and enhanced everything else. But the thing of it is that it was running too high. Not because I was overclocking it, it's because that when I went to 1440p on certain games, because I wanted to see that shit and push it to the limits of what I had. My power would shut my CPU down, so I had to buy me a new 500 watt.
Well, what graphics card are you running right now on that rig?
It's I don't know. I have to go in there. I have to tell you. There was somebody that asked me, and I showed them to him on Twitter because they asked me. My shit is legit. I don't have to lie about that shit.
Did you put thermal paste on your CPU?
I bought a new liquid cool shit for my CPU, and I bought me a 500 watt power supply. In order, because I was like, I'm like, fuck that, because the first thing I did was buy the liquid cool, and then the motherfucker still shut down. And then like I was talking to somebody else that was having the same problem, and then they were like, "Hey man, it was your power supply."
But I do agree with.
And when I bought myself power supply, that changed everything. But still, that was still another $120.
On this issue,
you should be good now.
On this on this specific issue, though, I do agree with Fonzarelli that we shouldn't be comparing the X to high-end PCs. But Microsoft is not making it any better because one of their head honchos just came out and said that Xbox One X, they're comparing it to higher-end PCs instead of the PS4 Pro. And that's what got the fanboys out here making these unfound claims on tech that they really don't understand about how it's going.
Listen, I'll say this. Listen, that's why
low-end PCs, yes, but high-end,
that's why I raised the question.
Things determine the high-end PC.
But listen, here's my thing, and I want to, like I say, when somebody take my words out of context, okay? I'm not saying the Xbox One X will outperform a Titan Z. That's not what I'm saying, okay?
Nobody said that.
Okay, so what I'm saying, or what we're saying, or whatever, for 60 flops at a minimum, we even though it's slightly more powerful than 60 flops in a closed environment, a static box, okay? With developers, it all comes down again to optimization. The same thing how they can get a game like Forza Horizon 3 or 1.3 teraflops and make it look that good on the Xbox One. You can't do that on the on the PC side of things. And again, if you said for yourself, even if you have 11 teraflop GPU or whatever the case, all of that is not allocated for gaming. You know what I mean? So and comparatively speaking, for $500, I don't give you get a $700 PC. It's not going to outperform the X. And that's what I asked you guys. What started the conversation. I wanted to move past this shit. Yeah. What do you consider a high-end PC?
I don't mind like Digital Foundry making some comparisons, really getting into like ambient occlusion and higher texture filtering stuff that they talk about, right? But then like people will take it and run with it they'll take one little picture from Digital Foundry's video and put it everywhere all over Twitter saying, we've got more textures than the PC and shit like that. And then it comes out later, they got egg on their face because it wasn't true.
And they purposely do that though. Digital Foundry we do because they know the audience.
They get the clicks.
here's the thing. That's why the audience needs to shut the fuck up if they don't know what they're saying. That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
If you don't know tech, stop talking about it. That's it. Stop talking about. I don't talk about it on my channel because I don't know what the I know what looks nice to me, and
that's all that matters.
I've read up on certain things.
If you don't know what you're talking about, shut the fuck up, right?
Okay. Well, let me just say this because I've always said I'm not the biggest tech guy when it comes to PC, but I know what I got. I'm looking at it right now. I got the MSI GeForce GTX 1050 Ti DirectX 12 TDX 1050 Ti.
Nuclear launch code. What the hell is that?
I don't know. That's what this shit is. That's what I got. I'm looking at
the MSI P93
box right now. That's what I got. You know what I'm saying?
Bro,
I mean, shit. I bought it for $220. That's what I got.
He said his iPhone 7 damn social.
You know what I'm saying? This shit look crazy.
But see, you kind of just proved Fonz's point that
that's my graphics card.
Even though you just said that, you didn't understand what you was saying.
No. What I'm saying is this: is that when Fonz really went up and said that I don't know what, you know what I'm saying? I put it together my fucking self. I know how to do this.
But you know what? I could stack it together like Legos too. It's not that hard to put.
No, it's not hard to put.
People in the comment section. People in the comment section saying the 1050 Ti's are low.
1050 Ti is real low.
It is low.
1050 Ti, you get 1050 Ti for like.
That's why that shit was cutting off.
Who's putting a 1050 Ti in a rig?
Hold on. One at a time.
Everybody get a knife.
Wait, hold on. Make my man a chance. You all right, Maker?
Yo, hey,
real.
Now
is not the time, gentlemen. Now is not the time.
Hey, he thought he said that 1050 Ti. He thought he was going
somewhere. Because I got to tell you, look, see, this is what's funny because you clowns think that it's like I want to. No, I'm being serious.
You can't damage control this.
How am I damage control? What am I damage control?
You can't move the post on this one, player.
To say goodbye.
For what?
Yesterday.
Quarter Rock, you don't even got an Xbox. I know you
Hey,
don't even got an Xbox. Hit the like button.
Hold on.
You don't got no gaming PC.
Another time. Hold on. Let's clear the line. Let's clear the line. Let's go.
I was going to say that in the chat, they said they're going to be running that CFDs at 540p, 15 frames.
Look, this is funny because I guarantee you half of the motherfuckers in this chat don't even have a gaming PC like Quarter Rock. And then, you know what I'm saying? And then
but I'm gonna tell you, but if I got one, it's gonna have more than a 1050 Ti. If I'm gonna do it, I'm not
it don't matter when I pay for what I pay for. I got for what I wanted.
He them dudes that go out, y'all bought me a Beamer. You be like, word, you see it's the 3 series.
You got an Xbox One?
It's a 1988.
Do you got a gaming PC?
Hey.
My man, he's the type to go buy a Beamer and it's a 1989.
One time.
I'm just asking Puerto Rock. Do you got an Xbox One? Do you got a gaming PC?
Yes. No, but if again,
shut the fuck up then. Okay, then anybody else that has a gaming
50 Ti.
If you want to talk bad about my PC, that's fine. But
he's like, you want to talk bad about my baby? You want to talk bad about my baby?
Hold on. You know what I'm saying? For what I spent for it, you know what I'm saying? Shit. It's the investment for what I spent into my PC.
Okay, Megan, you said you bought it last year, right?
Like $900.
Wait. You spent $900 on the Ti?
No, I'm talking about overall everything else to me.
He was dealing with what's my man name? What's your guy name?
Come on now, bro. You know what I'm saying?
Who the hell
don't be ignorant? I say
hey, nah, he had B Shadow's help.
Everything else that I put into there.
They got him over. They got him over.
The motherboard, because my motherboard I just bought last year. It was
now. Hey, K Megan, did anybody assist you with those purchases for your PC?
Assist them? They robbed them.
I got my shit off Newegg. What are you talking about assist?
No, assist you as in like what you should get.
One at a time.
K-Meg, I want to ask you a question.
Oh yeah, somebody help me out with it, but that's
One at a time. Oh, hold on. Go D.
How much did you pay for that that whole rig?
Then D on vacation joint.
I didn't buy this computer off. You know what I'm saying? Like I had this. This is an older computer, and then I
called it Better Business Bureau.
Put all the enhancements in later.
Yeah, hold on. He thought he had a powerful PC, y'all. It was blasphemy.
How's it blasphemy? I'm just saying. What are you talking about? How's that blasphemy?
I'm just messing with you.
I can't hear D. Can you hear me now?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Yeah, hear you now. Yeah.
Sorry, I'm in the car. I'm coming back from the event. I just played the Xbox One X, but
okay.
The 1050 Ti, in all honesty, is a very, very weak GPU.
Wait, you had to join the show to say that? Come on, man. God damn.
Hold on.
I bought this last year and it was like 200 and like
$15.
I bought it last year, last February, and it was the MSI GeForce TDX 1050 Ti. And I bought it for like $215.
If you had put $30 more on, you could have got a RX 580.
Okay, well that's fine. That's fine. But let me just keep going. And so then I bought my CPU. The CPU cost me $300, and then I bought me my
CPU you got? What CPU you got?
I would have to go look for that shit. It's an 80. No. It's an AMD FX something. And so it's AMD FX something, and it cost me $300 or something. Yeah. So then I bought it was $200 and it was close to $300, but it was like 200 and like I think 80 some bucks for my it was an MSI fucking motherboard. And then I got you know what I'm saying, just recently I enhanced my well, I enhanced my fucking power supply because I had to go to 500 watts. I thought it was because my cooling system wasn't working. And so I was like, what the fuck? Because just when I was playing Hellblade, I was pushing wait. It cut off. And then like,
what size is your PC? About the size of a tablet? You got that low end graphics card.
Hold on. I'm going to do something right quick. While we got Officer D on the line on dispatch. Tell us about your Xbox One X experience. Let the chat know.
Oh my gosh. Let me tell you, that Forza is butter. It is butter. Man, I'm playing the demo and the weather, it cycles through the weather and it's got the HDR on it. And when the lightning is going and just the sound of the rain, like I cannot wait to play this game on my Xbox One X with Dolby Atmos and HDR. It was, honestly tell you, I couldn't believe what I was witnessing on an Xbox One X, and it wasn't a high-end PC. I really got to say, it really completely blurred the lines. And I even had a long talk with, I don't want to say who they are, but or who the person is individually, but I had some talks with some of the Ubisoft devs there, and I'll kind of semi-quote them. And they said, you know, at first when they heard the specs, they were like, let's see if they can pull this through. I don't think it's going to be so good. And when they actually got the kits, they said they got the kits ahead of time. They said when they got the kits, they were thoroughly surprised on how powerful that it is. And in all honesty, it's been easier for them to get it up and running on the Xbox One X than it was on the PS4. For them to get it optimized on the PS4, it took them a long time. It took them a real long time. And I got a spoiler. I'm going to put up a video tomorrow. I have some video footage and all my experiences, but I'll give you guys a spoiler. They confirmed for me that it's going to have, Assassin's Creed is going to have a 1080p 60 frames per second mode.
That's nice. That's nice.
Yes.
That is huge. That is huge.
I want to see
with that down sampling. With that down sampling, that's going to be amazing, D.
Okay, no, hold on, D. Okay,
PS4 is not going to be native.
Hold on, D. Let me just interject right fast because I went and I seen what my AMD is.
It's cool, man.
No, I ain't that type of nigga that be lying and shit.
It's cool. We just want to finish in.
No, let me say this.
Okay, let him go ahead, player. Go ahead. Your CPU, player. Your CPU.
No, because I had to look it up. Because I mean,
go ahead.
It's dropped down in price, but it was a lot higher than what it was last year. But it's the AMD FX A350 Black Edition. It's an A core. That's
okay. I can confirm that he paid that price for it because that was the price a year ago. Unfortunately,
that's I bought it last year. But it's $129 goddamn dollars now.
Okay,
but the FX processor is not a real good processor. AMD, for CPU processors, they've been
until they got to Ryzen, they was garbage.
A long time until they got to Ryzen.
Yeah,
we confirm. That's what I got, but I paid good.
Trash system.
I ain't like a lot for what I.
We confirm trash system. Let's move on back to. I'm just messing with you, K Mega.
CPU that he's talking about, that CPU that he's got is still better than what's in the X.
Oh, breaking my heart, man.
It's sounding like a police right now. It's like a squawk box up in here.
He on the dispatch right now. He on the dispatch right now. Who the calls come in?
Oh shit!
Hey, D, check your inbox, D.
Yeah.
You ready?
All right.
Check your inbox tomorrow. Like 20 minutes, yo.
Okay, let's go.
Give me a time, Shake.
He's on that AM dial.
Yeah. Holy shit! This guy's on that ham radio.
Yeah, man. I'm in the car. I'm on there, man. It is what it is. I can give you. Maybe we can do this at, I guess, noon, man.
No problem. I'll get my funky ass up. Thank you.
Yeah. But I gotta say, I did try out some other stuff. I played Gran Turismo, and they have made some improvements from the last time I played it. But I'm just gonna be honest here. If you fanboys, Sony fanboys out there, or GT fans out there that are expecting the game to be comparable to Forza, forget about it. It's not even close, man.
Oh, wow.
It's not even close. It's not even close. It's sorry. It's just not in the same league. It's outclassed. It's outclassed. I played NAC 2, and believe it or not, like, it's more for the kiddies, but it looked okay. I'm not gonna lie. Not really my type of game, but it looked okay. It played all right, but it's, your typical kind of platformer for, so it's a typical platform. It's more geared towards, I guess, like 6 and 7 year olds because it was really simplistic, but it looked okay.
All right. Well, all right. This man decided to steal my car. Oh shit! Oh my god.
Oh, another thing, Cuphead. Oh man, I played Cuphead. That game is so tough, man. It looks amazing. I can't wait for you guys to get your hands on that game. You guys, anyone that's a gamer, this is gonna have universal appeal. This game, it looks beautiful and it plays awesome.
Man.
Any other questions?
No. We gonna say that for tomorrow. Tomorrow we're gonna go live tomorrow. About 20 minutes.
How did the multiplayer in Crackdown look? Oh, that's
hey, Fonz is on fire tonight. Fonz is on fire tonight.
That was MIA, man. Crackdown was MIA.
Oh man, I'm gonna Crackdown, man. Fuck Crackdown. That shit gonna be dog shit probably anyway, man. The multiplayer got to see that, man. But shit, man. Like I said, but anyway, like, I guess we can move past Ken Mega's. Hold on, what time is it? It's 10:13. Been here an hour and a half. Listen, I wanted to go to another topic. We've been this motherfucker cutting up.
God damn, we spent that long on fucking K Mega shitty PC. Fuck.
Man, to find out it was trash in the first place.
I love y'all calling out my name. Everything else that I said, right now. You know what I'm saying? I keep it facts. Half of you bum ass motherfuckers don't even got $100 to spend. Talking all that PC. If my PC trash, Fuck it. Y'all know y'all motherfuckers can't spend no 900.
He
talking all that PC shit and then
this motherfucker.
I'm just saying. Look, I just wanted to get into the genre. I wanted to get into it. I want to see it. I like it. It's cool, but I prefer consoles. It just made me more evident every day. Yeah. So it is.
My comment section is lit than a motherfucker.
I'm legit about my shit, man. If people say it's trash, I want to.
No, you good? You know I'm just messing with you.
I'm not tripping about you. Puerto Rock out here talking that shit. He ain't even got an Xbox
or a PC. Say he a fraud, huh? He out here fraud, huh? All these Xbox conversations, he ain't got an Xbox.
But they're not calling me no. They're not calling me 1050 Rock though.
Some motherfucking money.
Listen, ladies and gentlemen, man.
Y'all see that? You see that motherfucking gameplay coming 1080p, 60 frames.
That's what I'm talking about, nigga.
Shout out to Elgato.
Hey, these bums don't even got Elgato to even be trying.
Hey, D, did you
get us out of job? That's all I can tell you. Shit.
D, did you want to say anything else?
Go ahead.
On his rig, the CPU is not the best, but it's still comparable. It'll still do the job. But all you really need to do, K-Mega, is just swap out that 1050 and you'll be good. If you put an RX 480 in there or 580 in there.
That's what I was planning on doing at the end of the year. Yeah, when I got my bonus. That's what I was wanting to do when I'm done.
He's gonna swap it out and get that X.
You hear that, guy? You hear that bums in the comment that's broke? A bonus.
Hey, there's no X in the comment section, bro.
Bonus. Send your hate letters to K-Mega5. Get a bonus.
Somebody, listen. Somebody, SK the King said, "Hello, everyone. I'm doing $100 PSN, Xbox, Steam, and Roblox, whatever the fuck that is. Giveaway on my channel now. Streaming, subscribe to enter. You get your bum ass out of here." Hey man, my man, just for that, you gotta drop $5 in the super chat, bro. Right now.
Oh man.
Hey, he come in the.
Yeah, man. Shout out to the chat. Love it.
He come in the.
It's always what it is.
Hey, he trying to. Hey.
Man, you gotta drop something in the super chat, mother. We report his ass.
That's fucked up. Hey, okay, hold on. I'm gonna write this down, D. What kind of graphics cards you said I need to get?
You getting the X, bro. You don't even know the graphics.
It's a Roblox free to download.
Get an RX 480 or RX 580.
It's a Roblox is free to download.
You said RX or AM?
Yeah, RX 480 or RX 580. They're both AMD cards.
Hey man, fuck that shit, man. I'm getting the X and I'm getting the motherfucking new graphics card.
Leave it alone, bro.
Let's go. No, fuck that. You know what I'm saying? I wish some of these bum ass motherfuckers would.
Oh Lord, here you go.
Talking about my goddamn PC. I'm not a PC gamer like that, and they want to sit there coming. Come at me, bro. I can't wait.
Hey,
bring them.
Hey, if you were having,
we gathered here today on a sad occasion about K-Mega computer. It tried to become something. He thought it was something.
I still hit 1440p on motherfucking Hellblade. What?
If you were having heating issues with that 1050, you're going to have some serious issues with the 480 or something higher. So
no. It was my power supply, because I had an old power supply that came with my tower.
Who helped you build your computer? I
built my own computer, man. What are you talking about? I just didn't change out the power supply. I was like, everybody else is spinning on everything else. I was like,
you got a 360 power supply.
Who leave an old power supply?
I left the power supply in. I was like, fuck it. I just
left it. Gonna do at least 500 or even 1,000 watt power supply.
in all honesty,
I have never said that I am highly advanced.
No, man, you got to stop listening.
I'm just saying. I say you do that because
stop all day. Stop. You being messy. You keep on bringing up, and I'm going to keep on avoiding you on that.
The reason why I said that with the reason why I said that with the power supply, because you leave yourself headroom to add additional hardware.
Right.
You just don't buy a power supply to fit what you're doing. You always go a little bit higher to make headroom. So if you want to add, you already have the power there.
Yeah, that's right. You probably can't make a 1050. That's cool.
Hey, yo,
you got a PC?
Yo, they said in the comments section, I can either confirm or deny my kid's PC is stronger than Megan's.
I can't.
What that means? Listen, ladies and gentlemen, we want to get everybody here.
You might be right.
Listen,
I'll take the L on my PC. That's fine, but I won't take it in life.
I'm looking for new talent for broadband brothers. You want to get down what we got going on? I left the link. Come on,
I need K Megan in an L-shaped recliner.
There you go, no man. Hell no, we go on, man. Thank you for rocking. Hit the like button. If you was entertained tonight as all, hit the like button.
Fun shit. Let's go.
We're going to play a podcast. We out here.
Everybody have a good night, man.
Hit the like button, man.
Peace out.
Damn, somebody said.